What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Albion TV's Crystal League coverage. Me, Robinhoodrs, not chosen, unfortunately. Send your prayers to my man. A little bit under the weather. Hope he gets better soon. And Bogul will be taking you through level 4 and 5 5v5 Crystal League matches today. We got a lot of good teams signing up, I'm sure, for these 4 and 5s. Generally, Robin, as you don't do 5v5s with us normally, these are the best Tuesdays to be here for, right? These are 4 and 5s, the best you can get on a Tuesday. And generally, a lot of teams will go really hard at the 4s and the 5 to try to get a 5 token, and then they go hard on the 5s because level 6s are right around the corner. And so hopefully, right, with the Crystal League system, you just gotta pray that those teams meet up, they match against each other, and we get the content. But yeah, I mean, Robin, are you excited for, I think, your second Crystal League show, right? Like
I
5v5 stuff?
Yeah, I think this is my second. It's gonna be interesting. I hope you're ready to carry, dude. 'Cause
It's all good, it's
your
all
man does
good.
not have any idea about 5v5 and what happens in 5v5s. I know the mere basics. I don't partake in the content myself anyway. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah. I
So
am on
later
Marvin,
on,
by the way. He is
oh
geared
yeah,
up.
Marvin's gonna be going in. Marvin, I love that guy. He will be going in for 4s. We can start on him. It's Marvin with 2 eyes, Bogle. I do want later on in the show, so in between the 4 and 5s, to bring up the Nda Patch Notes, because I have a correction on something I was talking about last week. And so I want to make sure the 5 guys hear that. I'm gonna hop on to Marvin. Also to Robin, if you, can go ahead and, let people know we're live with the content.
Ooh, I can do that. I can. By the way, exclamation point NDA. I just updated the link for the viewers. If they do that in chat, take you to the latest
Beautiful.
NDA patch notes, and you can also use that as well, Tazzik, to quick
Yeah,
find the notes
beautiful.
yourself.
Yeah, we'll be talking about this in a bit. There hasn't been a patch since the last Crystal League show. Obviously, there was a patch just over a week ago, but we talked about that last time. Generally, it didn't really do much, if anything, for 5v5. However, the NDA patch notes are pretty big. They have a lot of things that will affect 5, so we will talk about that later on. Looks like we're going in right now on Marvin. He has a solid team with him. Not the team that we saw him winning with earlier, though. As I mentioned last week, Marvin and his team broke up a little bit, right? Because of Omicron. Marvin works in the sort of healthcare area, right? So he was working a lot, couldn't play the game, and his team kind of went to different teams to play since Marvin wasn't there, which is
Damn, that
unfortunate. I was really looking
sucks.
forward to seeing that team in the tournament, but we'll see those players for sure come in.
Yeah,
Looks
I was
like,
looking at the Conqueror's Hall just in, I believe it was Fort Sterling alone. It looked quite busy there for the 5v5.
I'm
So
getting bounced around like mad today.
oh yeah, yep, I was too. Just gotta hop back on Marvin if you can. Marvin bringing out the Ironclad, something he used to play a lot. It is a Glaive Wildfire with a Realm Breaker coming in from Struggles. I've never seen Struggles in a 5v5. I also haven't seen somebody use the Realm Breaker in a while. Player 2 running the Spiked Gauntlets, which is a really, really solid War Glove for 5v5. It does a ton of tank damage, right? Since it does more damage depending on the armor type you use, that Spiked War Gloves. So we'll see how they play around that one. Shadowcaller Slam on the choke. Misses everyone except for maybe Marvin, but struggles hard diving with that Realm Breaker. They're going to get a good fling onto Bon Fui Fui. The healing is there, though, on top of him, so he is going to live for now in the Wildfire point blank, taking out My Name is Bad. Guy did not even think he was in trouble there for sure. Silent J, I think, does not have his redemption, as he already dropped it for his front line down that choke. Unfortunately, it didn't go on the guy it needed to. So red team, after a little bit of reset, should be able to push this choke. It's a lot of damage from that War Glove onto Marvin. The Shadowcaller just... Oh my god, look at that damage on the backline. Silent and Jay sat in that for so much longer than he needed to. Got put down to 1.5 bars. He's going to die to some Q3s from this Infernal Staff unless he rolls out of there. Him and his team should get a hard reset unless Corpsey has a Pole Hammer stun ready. Marvin, though, still going aggro with the Ironclad. Gonna stun run Corpsey. The Wildfire damage is there. Gonna try to spin the Redemption away from his tank. Get a lot of damage if they can. A red team with really solid peel. They'll get the mid cap. They'll start getting the points. It's not looking too good. Off rip for Marvin's team.
yeah, Marvin was literally like, I think 0.1 seconds away there from canceling that mid cap. It was a nice play there. Obviously, red now take the lead.
Player
Difference,
2.
a little bit
Getting
different here
shown.
compared to the 20 versus 20s that I'm used to casting. So I need to get
Yeah,
used to that.
Fives are different, man. Fives are honestly my favorite kind of content. Corpsey missing a knock up there with the guys that are onto the wildfire staff from the enemy. It's a lot of damage from red that just could have been canceled out. The healing though is really solid for Miss Rosie on the other team. I've never seen this red team, any of them at Corpsey, play before. Bon Fuifi rolling in to get the Shadow Caller on the cloth. He's so much damage on that choke. I love the aggression there. The damage from that Shadow Caller is insane. Miss on the War Gloves there on the choke, but it's fine as they push them back. Marvin gonna have to go back to tent. Think he's gonna swap his weapon.
I'm surprised this blue
engagement.
team hasn't pulled out a cleanse switch either. I'm noticing a lot of curse stacks getting applied and staying there. Absolutely
Guardian
melting their
Helmet.
health.
Guardian Helmet will be really good right now for the shield if they can swap to that, but then also some way to get rid of these Shadow Caller stacks. This Shadow Caller, Bon Fuifi, I actually do remember this guy playing before, so he's really good at curse. And he's playing super aggressive, and I'm really liking it. He has that Astral Aegis, so he has the defense and the mana reduction, or sorry, the mana increase, so something to look out for. Marvin swapping to Guardian Helmet as well as the Great Hammer. Realizes that he's losing the engagements. He hasn't really been getting his game plan off. I don't think that this double melee comp worked too well against the red team's comp, right? They were playing like an Ironclad kind of semi-dive or kidnap kind of build. Interestingly, red team just giving up the bottom cap. They already did get that 20 tick, so maybe they just didn't want to fight for 40 seconds to hold it. Instead, they want to fight on this choke, which is smart with their War Glove, right? It takes up the entire choke. So it's a ton of damage they can put on it. Instead, he puts it backwards onto the front line. It's still so much damage. The curse stacks coming in as well. These guys are going to be very careful. Guardian Helmet used super early. Bon Fuifi just putting out so much damage with this Shadow Caller. Miss Rosie getting hard dove, however, by the Glaive and Realm Breaker. There's a lot of damage left in the tank after that Redemption Staff heal as well. Anti-healing coming in. A Frost Arrow being procced by Evo. I'm not sure what the Frost Shield is about. I haven't seen people use that before on the Wildfire. Maybe he wants to kite against a double melee, but Miss Rosie is going to go down to the dive by Marvin and the Glaive. Firewave not able to help him out. Meanwhile, the blue team all healthy in the backline against player 2's dive. Actually, player 2 comes back at 1 bar. The War Glove not able to put out the pressure as maybe the Glaive does. Will go down for now. Good triple stun, but
pick out the tank now, right? Surely your main focus on the tank, obviously getting the caps as well. But at this point of rotation, if they can pick up the tank, and they do, I believe the respawn timer is pretty high up there, and they should be able to just sit here and secure this rotation. Most likely hold on to a free cap, right? I believe the respawn timer is probably
around 11 seconds, 5 minutes in. So they'll be able to get that cap pretty easily. Red team, though, they had like a super strong start. Marvin and his team finally get something going on the back of that hammer switch. I think Marvin was able to help the dive way more with it, right? A lot more control, not really flinging the dive target around.
Getting rid of those stacks as well from the curses helps a lot. Relieves some of the pressure there from Silent NJ. Obviously, healing output, my dude. He's been doing work.
Helmet's insane. Yeah. Guardian Helmet works so well against curse staffs on your front line. Not having one is really inty. It's really interesting too. Both Corpsey and player 2 are running Hooded Tenacity, so they're trying to like go for one of those, you know, dive backline, make sure the Celestial Sphere doesn't do too much healing. I will say, even with a double Hooded Tenacity, that Celestial Sphere is going to make somebody like nearly invulnerable. It is a lot. Marvin wants the 20 ticks though, unlike Red Team. He's coming in. Corpsey swapping to Staff of Balance. They want this dive so hard. He's going Staff of Balance, double Hooded Tenacity. But look at that. Look at the potential damage coming in from player 2, right? He insta-pops a Spike Gauntlet. The slow is there. The damage is there. It's a big Pierce onto Struggles. He needs to be careful. He pops his Res Pot on the back of that Realm Breaker. Looking to go in right now. Big misplay by Marvin and My Name is Bad, but he actually saves it with that tackle onto both the healer and the Wildfire. The Wildfire Meatball is going to be available soon. He actually misses it. The healing is there for that backline team. Player 2 needs to try to help his team heal for this one. Corpsey popping a Res Pot. 4-man guys are on the choke, and Marvin with a beautiful stun. 3-man stun on that choke backwards to hit Corpsey as well. Make sure that his team can find this kill. Player 2 looking so low. The slam is there. So much damage onto My Name is Bad in the front line of this blue side as they're diving next to the tent. They aren't going to be able to find a kill, so Marvin needs to be very careful. He's going to cleanse those stacks. He is going to bring a Dark Matter back to his team, though. Doesn't do too much damage, and Silent and Jay able to heal through everything. This is a good time for Red to go hard. Actually, Corpsey, forceful swing, so he's trying to stop that double melee presence from being too hard. I like the forceful swing. Maybe it'll work for him, but the Realm Breaker dive onto 3 Clothies is so much damage. Bon Fuifi going to roll out of this one, dodging the Stalker at Pierce. Meanwhile, Struggles super low in the back. Needs to bounce that ball to him, guys. They're finally going to get a few bounces going his way. Player 2 looking at My Name is Bad, though he is going to hit that slow. There isn't any forced movement for him, so he's going to get out of that one. And Marvin, again, soaking the pressure of that backline really well, making sure all three get stunned. Struggles missing that Realm Breaker. I don't know what the hell that was. Where did he aim that? Triple Wildfire. Oh, 4-man Wildfire actually coming in for red team. That's so much extra damage that they need to heal through now. It's a beautiful spike gauntlet as well. If he went up a little further, he could have got a 5-man one. Blue team kiting for their lives. And this whole time, by the way, they're getting 20 ticks, so it's totally fine. As long as they kite this out and don't let the enemy team get a cap, they're still winning hard. Corpsey, with that staff balance going super deep, is going to put down a forceful swing, so the damage output of blue is really reduced since they're running double melee. Corpsey looking very low, though, and they send Evo back up to mid to get that cap, try to stop the bleeding. I think it's a smart play. As long as he doesn't get canceled and red team doesn't die in the 4v5. Struggles is running up to stop him, but they did get mid in time. And now Marvin and these guys, they already got mid. They should maybe try to look to reset. I don't know if they're winning in the rotation of cooldowns here, but they get a really nice triple stun. Player 2 and the healer caught by that one. The Cleric Robe is used on the healer, but they might get dove here by Marvin and his team. They are running that double melee. Beautiful Realm Breaker onto the Redemption. They missed the Q3. These Nuttiest going so hard. So close to Miss Rosie trying to get the kill. Struggles, blinks on top of him. The damage isn't there for now. They do have a fling by My Name is Bad. It comes in here. These Nuttiest again missing the Q3s. That could have been a kill for sure. And now the Social Sphere healing is going to be back online. The Impale, though, and the ball not bouncing to the guy who needs it. You guys got to make sure you're standing next to your healer if he needs it. Bon Fuifi rolling out is going to get swapped right back in. There is going to be another fling as well available for him. Going to get flung right back to his backline. Evo, the target of Struggles. While they should find Bon Fuifi, they might be able to also go back and get player 2. He is going to pop a res spot to try to walk through these guys, but there's 3 people here, man. You're definitely going to drop unless it's a good triple kick. Does he have roll available? Ah, but he swapped. He's dead.
Didn't get the triple cap rotation, though, but still, I mean, nice opening. I was watching a lot of the anti-heal from the red team, like how they were setting it up there. Obviously, they got the... Oh my god, what's it called? The Staff of Balance.
Redemption.
The Staff of Balance. Yeah. And then they got the 2 Hooded Tenacities as well. They were setting up pretty well, actually, onto the back line. But it's just the DPS just wasn't getting up there. Obviously, Marvin doing a great job bullying the Cloffies. And it's been interesting.
Yeah, Marvin's playing very well.
Out again.
Marvin's playing extremely well. Player 2 swapping off of Hooded Tenacity to a Stalker Hood. I like that. If you have a Hood Tenacity Staff of Balance, you shouldn't need the second one, especially because Silent J is just playing very well around the anti-healing. It's not, I haven't seen him not being able to heal anybody. Corpsey with a very early res bot to try to just tank this one up and try to push up this choke on the Staff of Balance, but he is going to get pierced. The Realm Breaker damage is there. My Name is Bad could easily get a fling right now onto like player 2 and go hard for something, but the triple kick comes in backwards to try to kidnap somebody. Marvin going to stun back up mid, get the healing going. Again, Silent J doing God's work with these heals. He's getting his whole frontline melee. And when you have 3 melee with a Redemption Staff, it's just heaven, right? He's able to AoE heal you, throw down the Celestial Sphere, and they're running them down. Player 2 solo is going to get the Celestial Sphere onto himself. Struggles pretty low down. Choke going to have to blink back up. And now Miss Rosie has no Cleric Robe. He could easily be a dive target right now for Marvin after a stun. I'm waiting to see if they go for a fling or a stun first. Mr. Roby's finally getting it stunned. There's a big meatball on him as well. The fling is there too to cancel the heals. Beautiful dive, one shot onto my man. And now My Name is Bad rolling forward to try to get an Impale. Corpsey just bled out from a Realm Breaker bleed off screen. I didn't even know that Realm Breaker had a bleed like that he just bled out to, but okay.
He was burning as well. Is there a fire on the blue team?
Yeah, they have a wildfire.
Okay,
but the person who got the kill was the Realm Breaker. That's why I'm so confused. Maybe internal bleeding is what he put on him. Man should have stopped. But that's an 8-1 kill to death level 4 for Marvin and his team. Great showing right there. Like really solid victory for his team. I like that they swapped off the not working Ironclad to the hammer, and Marvin just was carrying the fights on that great hammer.
Yeah, like the immediate turnaround when they did the switch up was... It was noticeable, to say the least. I switched over to Nabobo, by the way. I believe.
Yeah, I'm on Elite 10. I'm on Elite 10, so you can go to that guy. Same match. But yeah, this is a really solid match. It's Durentin's team against Elite 10's team. Very, very solid 2 teams. Juliet right now is getting actually hard dove. as the blue team here not playing the same like double melee frontline stuff. They do play Frost and a Curse in the backline, or a Fire generally. Right now, it looks like they are playing the Curse instead of the Fire. Oh no, actually, sorry, they are playing Meatball. Elite though on that pole hammer, man, he's so strong with that stuff. Ochiwan though, one of the better redemption staff healers, is gonna roll out of trouble. I engage with a great fire wave as well to stop the aggression. The Cultist Sandals for anti-healing coming in from Elite 10 as well. I know he likes that playstyle a lot too. I haven't seen a lot of people running Cultist Sandals. Lucrative flung back by Naboho is going to get just chopped down as Juliet not able to find the heal since he's getting dove by Barak. Barak and Nabobo both running the glaive, so they have so much forced movement. Are going to find Juliet as well. Red team with a bit of a comeback in the works, right? Like they just got 2 kills, but they need to get a cap, otherwise it's over. So they're hard diving Elite 10. They do get him with the Meatball Stalker Hood. Barak going to start mid. Somebody is starting bot right now as well, so they shouldn't get 20 ticked as well. They should get a 10 tick, to be honest here. Durentin might be able to start top if Barak can go and fishing hook Ruin. They might even be able to kill Ruin here as he's going very aggressive. They blink on him. Ruin is very low. No healer available for him. He's a goner. I don't think they have the CC to kill another, though. They don't have
the
much
healer's
movement.
back as well.
Oh, man, that meatball as well. But yeah, what a play from Red. What a swing, right? They just got 4 kills. They got 3 caps. This is easily a comeback for them. The death timer on Ruined, when you're 14 minutes in, is looking closer to that 20-second mark. So this guy is not going to come back until like 20 seconds into the rotation here. So Red team should be able to come down and just hold this if they can stop Lucrative. And we're going to blink for it. Durant sitting on Juliet in the back line. And again, Durant a great tank. Elite 10 a really solid tank. Both of these teams I would put like nearly equal. I don't know who I would give it to, but right now it's a Red team's game. It's about to be 17-11. I engage in a bit of trouble here. He already rolled as well. Needs to be very careful. He has no other defenses. Lucrative hard diving him. They're calling for their other glaive as well to come up here and get a fling or something. The Impale is there. They missed the pole hammer stun onto him. And now Lucrative in so much trouble for this dive. Has to roll out the Hooded Tenacity. Anti-healing so much that he is going to get that Celestial Sphere on top of him. So he will just instantly get topped up to full. It was insane healing right there. Now Barak and Nabobo sitting on the Cultist Sandals. The anti-healing is there. Red team can easily lose 2 of their members right now if they're not careful, as I engage in the back. Very low. Lucrative suicide runs for it as he knows his team only needs to last another 40 seconds to win. Nabobo and the lads trying to keep in this. They have to get a cap or it's over here. They're looking for rune experience. They need a hard commit to dives here. It's going to be GG for them. Ochi rolls away to make sure he's not the one to get taken out by blue. Relic are just trying to keep the caps. Relic are trying to roll bot to actually get a cap to make sure his team doesn't lose right now. So we'll see if they're able to. Nabobo not going to let it happen, though. I'm looking for a dive onto Juliet. The damage from rune experience Frost is insane. He's one of the better Frost players in the meta right now, him and Zerfak. Ruin trying to blink up. It's over now for Blue Series, trying not to die. Ruin goes down, and it's a great comeback from Red. I'm really glad we got to see that in the end.
Wow. 16.
Holy shit. Don't look at the scoreboard. 7-16. How?
What?
I mean, it wasn't a comeback. They were just winning.
Dude,
it was
Ruined
16 kills.
Died 7 times, dude.
Oh my god. Yeah, 7 deaths on Ruin experience. I mean, to be fair, though, Ruin was double backline, so never mind. What I was going to say does not matter. That's crazy. I think, too, he plays Blink Shoes, so that's like... So that's 2 blinks that he had for probably most of those. Very unfortunate to see that from my boy.
That's something that you really do not see that often in 5s, right? Like, that high of a death.
7 deaths is a rare occurrence, you know? Like, you used to see that a lot when it was double melee and then 1 clothy backline, because then that's just the guy who's going to die, right? Often. But you don't really see that too much these days.
Damn. Jesus.
But when you do have 2 glaives running at you with impales and fishing hooks, 2 flings, a stalker hood, a meatball that's just going to, clap you, it makes sense that he has that much. That's, to be honest, if he was a target the whole time. Really unfortunate. I don't know if we have any other level 4s going on. Generally 16 minutes in, most of them are ending. Logic in chat, it's actually a band player, but what's up, my boy? Says, seems like the meta is still the same. The War Glove any good? The meta right now is not stale. It's actually pretty healthy from a tank perspective, pretty healthy from a range perspective, except for the Wildfire staff stuff. The Wildfire, obviously, a little bit stronger than a few of the other range DPSs. But generally, it's really only the melee that I don't like. You know, glaives are just running rampant in the meta. I don't agree with just continued nerfs on them. I wish we buffed maybe some armors and some other weapon lines. The war gloves did come
Leather
in.
armor, dude. Hello.
Yeah, leather armor sucks. Can we get some buffs on leather armor, please? Who plays leather in 5v5s? Literally nobody. But I really hope that war gloves can find a place in the meta. I think that would be really, really solid. If they can, we've seen some people try them. I don't know if they're going to end up being like top tier or not because they don't have that fling. But triple kick is insane. So if people go for like kidnap comps, I could see it. War gloves working really well, even in just general non-kidnap comps, right? Like in just general meta play style. I think they do have a place as well.
Do you think with the upcoming changes to the war gloves, I can't remember which one it was. I think it's the spiked ones.
Yeah, so
Ones that,
everything except for Ursine is actually getting a change in the Nda patch notes. Obviously, they're subject to change, but I generally think probably most of those go live. Yeah, so spiked gauntlets are the ones that I think are really solid in fives. I think Ursine can see play similar to the old siege bow as well, if people play around that. But I think spiked are generally the ones that'll probably see play in fives. There are some other ones that might be solid, but I was actually hellgating with the spiked, and I think they're really strong.
Dude,
Especially because
like,
of the plate damage they can do is insane.
right? And a lot of the builds at the moment use plate. Dude, 150 extra damage
Mm-hmm.
with the current NDA balance changes for the spiked gauntlets. That's dude, I'm
Yeah,
shitting myself for ZVZs.
there are
Like,
people who are saying that the spiked gauntlets don't need the damage replate 150 increase per plate. I'm somewhere in the middle, and that I want them to be better. I don't know if that's the way to make them better, but I'd like to see it because like they're already shit on plate enough. I can't wait to see how a 50% increase in the damage, base damage, is going to play out for plate specifically. I'm looking at after these patch notes go live, like the kidnap tank and kill them comps, like it was way back in preseason 1. No one's going to remember this except for like maybe Mercado in the chat and Logic. Before seasons were a thing, the way you 5v5'd was you had a glaive, you had sticky pots, and you had a poison potion. You would fling the tank, you poison potion the tank, you'd sticky pot the choke so his healer couldn't get to him, and you just kill the tank in a second. You just burst them down immediately. Right? That was the meta back then. And if with Warglove triple kick being so strong, with the spiked gauntlets being able to just pummel down a plate's HP, to honestly, I think that's probably what'll happen, right? You triple kick back, maybe a fling too, but I think probably double backline. You triple kick him back, you hit him with the spiked gauntlet E, you poison potion them. They're probably already in range of a stalker hood. You pierce them. Like those tanks are gonna be so fragile coming in with the NDA patch notes.
yeah, and you also, I mean, it's a 20% extra resilience penetration on all war gloves as well. It's like,
Yeah, I'm
dude,
looking. I think War Gloves are gonna be nuts after the
yeah.
patch notes. You know, I think they're gonna be nuts. I think they'll probably. It depends though, right? Because I need to see it, but I do think they'll be nuts. I disagree with Mercado in the chat. He was saying like Glaive has been meta for 4 years. There was a long time where spears were really shitty, were really like bad in fives. But Glaive has been meta for a year now, and I think it's been nerfed like 5 times in a row.
Do you
I
think
don't.
the
Go.
CC reduction or the CC diminishing returns will do it?
Yeah, so I was just about to say, right? I don't think that nerfing the glaive over and over again is what they should be doing. And I actually like the new way they're looking at it, right? Which is force movement is getting a 300% increase from like 0.1 to 0.3. What that means, we have to see, but it is going to be really, really solid for actually nerfing these kind of like CC locks, lock teams and force movement teams and things like that. And then also too with just the general nurse, they've been hitting it with like CD reduction, I believe, is coming in again as well, or actually a cast range from 5 to 3. I think that's cool. I guess that like now you can counterplay it more effectively because it's harder for them to get in range. But like maybe we buff other melee. I don't know. I mean, glaives were daggers were destroyed in fives. They got obliterated. Axes got obliterated in fives as well. If we can maybe look to bring those back, swords back a bit, maybe we rework the leather armor that hasn't seen play in 5v5 since conception. That would be pretty solid. But there's a lot of different ways. We'll see how they play
Do,
out.
do
I'm
you
looking
want to
forward to
look
this
at
next patch.
the patch notes then, and pick 1 or 2 things out, maybe?
Yeah. I'd like to bring the Nda Patch Notes up here because I wanted to talk about something I got wrong last week because I just didn't understand how it was. If you look at the Holy Staff change coming in, so Holy Staff is getting a change from its base heal being reduced by a third. So it's down from 90 to 60. And then it'll increase the output of the bubble by 25% for each bounce it does to the same target. And so that's, to me, like, I didn't understand what that meant. Right. So I asked Retro in a Discord and he explained it. And I think it's actually a pretty solid change. Right. So the way I was saying it worked before was it'll actually get to a point where it does more healing than it used to, not the way it actually works, right? So the way it works right now is they'll or sorry, so the way it'll work if this patch goes live is if they use the redemption staff E, right? So celestial sphere, it'll bounce to, let's say, person A. That person will get the base heal of 60, and then they'll gain a stack, right? Then it'll bounce to B. They'll get healed also for the 60, and then they'll gain a stack. If it goes back to A, now it heals them for +1 stacks. So it actually takes 6 bounces to get to the fully stacked healing, which means there's only 4 bounces of it being like 90 base heal. The math is really hard, right? But basically, it's a big nerf. It's a pretty big nerf. Is it enough to stop melee from feeling invulnerable with it? I don't know. We'll have to see. I still think that nature is very strong, and the reason we see Holy being played a lot is because of how much easier it is.
I mean,
And especially at the higher
is
level.
that fine? To give you an easy option versus the hard one.
Yeah. Well, so the thing is, in fives, it's really weird because you see a lot of lower teams play Holy because it's not only easier than nature, but it's also really strong right now in the sense that you can just throw out the celestial sphere, and even if you don't play around it well, you can do a lot of healing. At the higher level of fives, where all that matters is cap game and stuff, right? And if you do lose, let's say 2 members having to hold a cap 3v5, nature is often much better at that because they're able to kite around and move and heal on the fly. Whereas, Holy, it's actually much harder to hold 3v5 because now all of a sudden there's not 2 people putting pressure on the enemy team and you're just going to be targeted, And so often later on at the higher level, you do see people play nature. Last DLC, nature was the predominant healer, I believe, for a while.
There is a little bit of a buff to the one-handed nature, but I don't think that sees play anyways, right? So
yeah, one-hand nature doesn't see play too much. It did for a bit. However, the E on it's pretty weird and it's a little harder to play around.
right.
Druidic is also like a kind of anti-fun staff to play against because like
anti-fun.
yeah, Druidic staff is just anti-fun to play against, right? Like when you're playing against Celestial Sphere, at least you see it and you can
Right.
like fling a guy away from it and stuff like that. But seed on somebody, like you put seed, the Druidic E on somebody, like your enemy generally, they see a debuff on the guy, right? And it just heals him for a lot. It's not like terrible, right? Druidic is strong, but it's not fun, to play or to play against for a lot of people. Holy Staff is really fun to play. It's stupid easy to put down that new flash heal. Big AoE healing, or sorry, is it called flash heal?
Not sure actually. I know what one
Yeah,
you're talking
sorry,
about 'cause it
Holy
uses
Flash.
ZVZs
Holy
as well.
Flash. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Holy Flash, AoE Q, costs very little mana, cooldown is low, stupid amount of healing on a front line, very strong, very easy to heal with it. So I understand a lot of people playing it. We'll see how the meta changes next patch. I imagine it's just going to be mostly the same, except for maybe people trying out nature and maybe playing it more at the lower level. But then also some big melee changes in that maybe Glaive will get swapped out for War Glove. Although I don't think any other melee will be coming in except for the War Gloves, right? Clarent Blade is getting like a pretty solid buff, but I don't know if it's enough. Like Clarent Blade has a lot of issues, and it's very easy to just purge their stacks and make them useless. So we'll see. That's more of like a larger scale kind of weapon, I think, where you have to like blend in and not get your stuff purged all the time. Whereas it's very easy to shut down in fives. So again, we'll have to see how that change works out. But the War Glove changes are just so many that we'll have to see how they turn out. But again, there's a AoE escalation affecting ZVZs, not really 5v5, but there's the resilience getting changed as well. So we'll have to see how that works, right? Like
I mean,
wildfire with those changes is gonna be nuts.
it
Go ahead.
affects a little bit though of AoE escalation changes, right?
It does. It does.
I mean, I mean, most of the time you're still going to hit 3 targets on a choke point. That's an extra 6% escalation. It used to be 10, it's going up to 16 for 3 targets.
I think it'll affect a lot of the lower fives more than like the higher level 5 stuff, because generally when you're in higher level 5v5, you're not even fighting on chokes. Often you're just open at the cap area fighting. And so it is harder to get those like 3, 4, 5-man damage hits off. But I do think it'll still do something. What really is going to matter for fives is the resilience change and the DR and CC changes. Those are going to be really crazy to see, right? The way IP curving is now going to work, where when you're in 8-3 Masterpiece, you don't just fling somebody for 50 meters extra than normal, right? Like that's going to be really interesting to see what that works out to be. And that's also why I'm not a fan of keep nerfing the glaive, because does it still need that after these changes? Like, is the weapon just going to be dead? I don't know.
It's going to be real interesting. I think the patch that when this hits in January, like mid to late January, Retro said, I think it's probably going to be one of the biggest shakeups to the overall combat of the game that we've had in many, many years. And it's going to be real interesting to see how it plays out across all pieces of content going forward. But speaking of content going forward here, Tazzik, I believe the matches are about to kick off.
Yeah, I'm on Elite 10. Since we saw him just have a really solid
okay.
fight, we can watch from his perspective. Think maybe watching these guys as Ruin Experience just had a bit of a rough one. We did just call him out for going 0-7. We'll see maybe if he does a little bit better in the level 5s. Death Givers did get nerfed a ton, a while ago. But they have been seeing a lot of play in 2s and solo content. Generally, you never see them in 5v5 stuff. Generally, the whole dagger line you don't see in any 5v5 content or 10v10 content.
Why is that? Because it's too easy to play around, or?
It's because it got nerfed so hard. Or like it was predominantly a 5s weapon. You saw Death Givers insane based on the way IP was working when based on the way IP worked when Crystal League launched. Death Givers was incredibly nuts as a weapon. That got nerfed. People played Bloodletter for a while, but the Execute got nerfed. Daggers just haven't been a thing in 5s for a while. They do see playing 20s because they are really good to get a big Execute off, right? But
that's I mean, Bloodletter's your main go-to for
Bloodletter.
Yeah, for executes. Haven't really seen daggers played at all in 20s either. I mean, even in ZVZs, like, don't see it get used then. The only time I really see them is in like really small scale and like ganking, because you can pretty much insta dismount someone with Death Givers. That's about it.
Yep. Ooh, this should be a very solid match. Elite 10 against Antarcticite, a great team against what we're watching right now. See if Relicer and Ruin Experience have a bit of a better time in the backline against this team. Lucrative immediately getting dropped down to 1 bar with the res potion going as well. This man needs extra healing. The bubble bouncing to him, though, again, right now with the Redemption Staff, man is nearly invulnerable if it's bouncing to him and him alone for those 5 hits. It's crazy damage. Antarcticite as well. An amazing tank to even find that opening. Graphy going to be kiting back, waiting to get another meatball big onto Lucrative. I'm sure Chicken in trouble here, needs to get some form of healing onto himself, but he rolls out of that one. The healing is there as he throws. Great use of his Social Sphere as well to throw it out while he heals himself. Elite 10 still playing those Cultist Sandals, looking to anti-heal his front line a bit. Hooded Tenacity dropped as well. After the Social Sphere got all his bounces off, Reorbit pulling. Oh, a 4-man pole hammer stun. No follow-up on that backline at all, though, but that's a lot of pressure just relieved by Elite 10. Double Geyser as well onto Graph and Strategen. Those guys need to stop clumping back there. If blue team was hitting their skill shots, that could be really bad for them. Ruin dodging a
massive 4-man stun.
Yeah, Elite 10 is finding the craziest stuns. These guys need to stop clumping. Strategen and Graph sitting on top of each other is really bad. One of you should be playing bot side, one top side, but I mean, they know it, right? It's just in the moment. Things can happen. Ruin going to try to cheekily find this cap, but it's never going to happen. He's going to throw out the E for the CC. Lucrative not wanting to fling early, maybe looking at a backliner first. Triple guys are coming in again. Just go up the choke or stay down it. Don't all 5 sit on it. The AoE is insane coming in. Reliker eating a meatball, but putting out incredible damage of his own. Strategian using one of his blinks to get out, but it's double geyser, double impale. Strategian 1 life. Chicken trying to throw the healing out. Is going to have to drop the orb. It should be enough to keep Strat alive. They won't be able to find that kill. They do fling him away from the orb, though. Beautiful fling by Lucrative, so he is still in kill range. Ruined and Relic are not there yet, though. They are going to find the triple stun onto Graph Orbit and Strategian. Ruined and Relic are back at it. I think Relic actually went to get mid.
Yeah,
so
got
he
it just
was
in time.
not there for the damage, but they should still be able to kill Strategian as well if they can just get the damage in there. But their backline, 1 bar each.
Oh.
They finally find a kill into Reorbit. Strategian is still 1 bar. Elite and Lucrative just keeping the heals off of him. Chicken rolling down choke. Strategian caught up the choke on the right there. These guys can kill this guy, man. Their healer's not next to him. The Strategian just blink and rolls down choke. He finally will go down. Chicken able to heal himself in Antarctic site for now, but it's a triple kill. I think they can turn this into a penta, maybe, as they do have fling in a few seconds here. Antarctic site going up choke.
Rotated to the wrong tent, by the way.
Oh no, they literally kited to the wrong choke.
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right, well, Antarctic site might go down up top. Chicken goes down bot, and blue team able to find top cap. They did get rat cap down bot, so actually they did lose a 10 tick, but they did just get a quadra kill. So that's pretty solid, especially for boosting morale. His Ruin just went 0-7. Now my man has 4 assists. So
He's getting there, you know. He's slowly beefing up that kill board.
2 kills equals 1. 2 assists equal 1 kill. So technically, he has 2 kills if you think about it. Call of Duty rules.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
To 120. I mean, what an opener from blue. These guys are so not. I would say pretty equal. I think red team back in the day was super strong, right? Like we'll see how they go now. Graph is a very solid player on that team as well, so I think red team can still pull it off, especially as blue. Look at, I mean, they're not even going down choke. They're chilling. They want, for whatever reason, red team is really bad at pushing up this choke. So I'm assuming blue team just wants them to come up there. Again, Graph and Strategian are pixel stacked on each other down there, hitting Lucrative on the same tile. You need to be very careful because Elite 10 can easily punish you for that. Finally, a bit of separation here as the Celestial Sphere from red literally does nothing. They need to be careful as now blue has all the damage cooldowns. Reliker DC'd. Yeah, Reliker DC and in the back there. Very bad for blue as that's a lot of their damage on that Wildfire. Lucrative just getting pummeled. They don't have the pressure in the 4v5 at all. Strategian very low here is going to get flung. They might find the kill. They do get him in a 4v5. That is disrespectful that they find that kill. Can't believe that. Dude. That is yeah, that's insane. But again, right? Chicken used the Celestial Sphere earlier. It should have been up by now, and it did nothing, right? And so blue team had all their cooldowns ready. They instantly get the Pierce fling onto him. The bomb of damage from Ruin as well. And now Reliker is back, but he comes back to death as Reorbit finally takes him out. I think Reorbit the whole time was just sitting on him. Bit of a DM, but it's all good. It's all good. Reorbit now might go down 2 because Lucrative should have a fling available. I think he's just going to kite back as it is a 4v4. They might just want to chill. Reorbit blinking forward. Flings, I think that was Lucrative, but he got a roll off. It might have been Juliet. Whoever it was, they rolled it though, so a little bit of a waste of fling. Chicken gonna pop his Cleric Robe, completely wasted as no one procs it. Lucrative flings him down the choke. Ruin bombing damage on top of him. He is 1 bar himself though. He seems to be careful. Chicken still getting hard though by Lucrative here. He will be able to heal himself, and now Elite 10 goes down as they over chase up the choke into that double RTPS. Ruin experience rolling. He does not have any defensives left, but that Celestial Sphere is going to keep him up for now. Lucrative still very low. Easily could go down here. Strategian focuses him, and I think Ruin could die as well if they chase him down choke. He is still putting damage out. He's 1 life to his name. Is he bleeding out? Oh, he bleeds out. Yep. And they found Reliker as well. Oh, and yikes. Juliet, it's an ace. Oh no, red team aces. Damn. Somebody's asking what level this is. This is a level 5. So these are generally the ones we want to watch. These are very competitive level 5s. This is a great match, actually.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate for Reliker being AFK or DC'd, whatever one it was.
But did it matter? They found a kill anyway.
That's true. That's true. Just figuring out where they want to go. Juliet now AFK? Okay. People are just standing still here, dude. Like,
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Juliet swap anything? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, unfortunately, no raffles for today. We don't have shows here to pay
Actually,
those out. Oh,
Oh,
there
there's one
might be
open.
some raffles. Oh, there's one open. Okay, exclamation point raffle in the chat for that one. Strategy, I'm going to roll and a blink out. No defenses left on that guy. Chicken also very low. Ruin goes down in the back line, but they should be able to maybe find some pressure on Chicken and Strat. Chicken going to roll away, but Lucrative follows. Rune experience still dead. Sorry, I thought he was the one who lived. Relic are not able to get up here and help his team put out some backline damage, or they could have maybe found a kill here. Chicken and Strat, though, are still very low. Relicer finally dies in, but he whiffs the meatball completely, or they could have just gotten a double kill. That sucks for him. Red team gets a 20 tick in the 4v5. Sorry, in the 5v4 for them. Blue team holds it 4v5. And now Reorbit, they're looking for something here. Reorbit just gets flinged back. He could easily fling someone for a kill there. Stratagen linked forward, going hard with the damage. They finally channel Lucrative. Oh, I mean, they held 4v5, but like they didn't have the caps. So unfortunately, blue team going to lose 2 members here as red finds their footing in this 5v5. They shouldn't be able to find Relic or Ruined, but Juliet might go down. And as the healer, that is the worst person to drop. Juliet does fall. Ruin and Relic need to get back to tent. They will make it there. But when you're 8 minutes in, or yeah, when you're 8 minutes in, the death timer is around again, that like 18 seconds. So having your healer be the one who dies when you also need to heal up some of your teammates kind of sucks.
Yep, and a 20-point rotation coming in as triple cap is held by the red team as well. I've been watching these hooded tenacity plays from the red team. Blue team's been putting them down pretty well in spots that I would be like, okay, that makes sense. I've been watching the red team, and I don't know if they know how hooded tenacity works. You're meant to place it on top of your enemies to reduce the healing received. They haven't been doing that. They've been placing it on themselves.
What they might be doing is dropping it for some like counter pressure on dives here. But Ruined experience, speaking of dives, having flashbacks to level 4, goes down instantly there.
Can they get a trade onto strategy?
He does go down to Relicer in the bleed. Chicken not able to keep him alive with that social sphere. Relicer needs to be careful, though. He does have roll, but they could easily keep going on him. It is a Stalker at Pierce. Juliet does not have the heals to keep Relicer alive. There's no sphere. He gets caught by a wildfire meatball as well. Juliet now meatball to the face. The cleric comes out. The sphere is there healing. Ruined is back, and he's back before anyone else. So this should be okay for Juliet as he rolls out of that one. And now red team in trouble here. A lot of them low. Ruin experience should be able to bomb damage, but he whiffs everything. Chicken is the one he should have went on. They could have killed him already. Lucrative is going to find off the back of Elite 10 stun. Now Ruin blinks forward rolls forward. Keep bombing damage on that front line. Good Celestial Sphere onto Juliet and Ruin as well, just in case. Graf comes back and probably will instantly die here if Ruin has Blink available. Looks like he doesn't. Lucrative tries to roll for it, but not able to find it. And now blue team is in trouble here. They are going to get bot, but can they get mid to get a 10 tick? They should be able to if Elite 10 can walk up here and CC. Ruined already actually going up north to hold them off if he can. Doesn't look like he has any skills up for now.
They're going to
Blue
get
team turns it around, though. They get the 10 tick.
And then we've seen comebacks around this scoring before. I mean, like in 20 versus 20, this is like a GG here. But 5v5s, I mean, we've seen comebacks, I believe, like when I was watching the Crystal League, it was like a 5 points left, and these guys like pulled it back from 50 points down.
Oh,
like,
what a meatball onto Lucrative and Relicer there from Graf. Man, Graf is insane to keep finding these. Relicer needs to get out of there. Stratagen's just bombing the damage on them. Finally, red team's backline is spread out, so they just aren't getting out pressured here. They might find Lucrative off the back of this pressure. Juliet does not look like he has anything available to keep the heals going. Reorbit finds that kill, and blue team is going to lose unless they hold this 4v5, but Ruin gets flung. He's going to go down. And I think red team is just about to finish this off with kills.
Yeah, this has been a great 5v5 to watch. And
yeah, this one's nuts.
Ruined experience actually got himself a kill this time around, so.
Yeah, just had to go 0-7 for. I mean, blue team, it wasn't that bad, right? They went 7-15. They had a lot of potential to win this one, especially because red team kind of was making a lot of mistakes I wouldn't expect them to make. But red team just played so well in the actual team fights once they started going. They played very, very solid. 17-7 for red team there. Kills to deaths. They were farming. Great match there. I think we have some other like level 3s and stuff going on.
Yeah, that's it for the fights today. Just
Oh man,
Just-
we can go to
just-
Lord Varys. Lord
Yeah, I
Varys in
just
level
hopped in on
3.
him.
Yeah, Lord,
It's actually a
Lord,
really close match here.
yeah, Lord Varys and Palm Carnivore. These are guys in Crisis too. We see these people play in higher level stuff, right? Like we'll see how they go in the lower level 3 there as Lord Varys is going to eat a ton of damage. Bleeds out to that artillery fire and the curse dots. Is a 1-for-1 though. Kima should be able to find a fling there onto red. Oh, and the roll right after too. Okay, Boom Roasted finds a pierce onto red dread. Again, another person playing Frost Shield on the Wildfire. I thought most people prefer Royal Robe or maybe even Cleric Robe. I have seen some Druid. I think Frost Shield makes a lot of sense though to kite it out. It does make a lot of sense. Lord Varys going to come back in a few seconds. There's Red Dread trying to kite that one out if he can. Asuna and them down choke there. The caps aren't in their favor for now though.
Still got a bit of time to work with. I mean, but time is of the essence.
Yeah, I mean, these level 3s, right? They're 13 minutes in, but they're playing 10 ticks. I'm assuming none of this has been 20, so this will last a while. Blue team has all 5 members here on this choke. Red team needs to be careful to not over chases they just have. They eat a 3-man meatball. It's a lot of pressure. The Pierce a little late coming in after the meatball. Could have been nuts damage. The Crisis now in trouble as he walked up choke. Ate a ton of damage. Him and Red Tread are going to get healed by that Celestial Sphere. Down that choke is Taboo as a dive target with Lord Varys and Palm Carnivore. Doesn't look like they have the dive damage, as I think that's a double pole hammer in that front line. What the hell? Lord Varys and Palm Carnivore both playing pole hammer in the front line. Lord Varys might drop this artillery fire. Oh, he dies to the curse dots as well. But yeah, I know, you know, Palm Carnivore is coming back from a break. Lord Varys more of a crafter or a backline player, not really a melee kind of guy. I don't know why he's playing pole hammer. Is it because he's died 3 times or now 4 and just doesn't have another set of gear, I wonder? I don't know about the double frontline pole hammer. I mean, the CC is off the chain, but where's the damage coming in?
I mean, you would expect a man of Lord Varys's
Hey, he's
stature.
just equipped a heavy mace.
He's like, my man is a crafter, should have everything.
He's just equipped a heavy mace. He's full tank heavy mace. They also have a full tank pole hammer. What's
Surely they
what is
don't go
this?
out here.
Looks like
Developing the
Crisis
meta.
is
That's what it is.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
sitting 10
and they're
there.
done. Yeah, they're sitting
Aw.
10. Like, unequipping the overcharge. Oh no. Could have had one more engagement, but I respect the sit tent here. Save the gear. I don't think their comp works too well. The other team also had Boom Roasted just pummeling damage with that curse staff. So it was a good match all around.
Good fucking
Any
vibes
other
around.
level 3s still going?
No level 3s left. There's a level 2 on Looney. If you want to watch that, it's about done. But other than that, just lower ones.
Looney. I see. Yeah, Mercado definitely trash talking. Make them get better. They have potential. Maybe. Blue team with a comeback in the level 2. What is Ghetto Seth doing in a level 2? This guy's a pretty decent player. Maybe teaching some friends. And the full loot 5v5. This is the first level of the 5v5 Crystal League that is full loot. So it makes sense that you see some people learning in here, trying to get some real practice in. Blue team holding for 20 tick. I like that, by the way, that they're learning the meta early, you know, 20 ticks, hold chokes, get 20s. It's kind of the way you play 5v5 these days. Instead of the way most normal people start out, which is like, hey, we'll just fight at the choke every time, right? Reset. I like this.
Yeah, just ignore the whole like cap timer situation.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god,
Jeez.
the insta burst from the Stalker Hood Shadow Caller meatball onto that tank. He almost died. If the IP was a little higher, he was dead. But the healing is there for Blue to keep diving down this one, and the red team is still so low. The healing is not there for them as of yet. Looney dropping the Searing Flames onto the enemy team. I think he's missed the 2 Q3s that I've seen so far, but he missed that one too. The Q3 from the Searing Flame is what matters. You got to hit that one. That's where all your damage is. But it's a meatball to the face into a Shadow Caller E. That's so much damage to that Glaive and the Redemption Staff from that Wildfire. They should have Celestial Sphere available for the red team in a few seconds, so they should be able to absorb this kind of dive here. Ghetto Seth going down choke towards tent. They do lose a frontline member off rip, and now it's not looking too good for red holding this choke. Or sorry, holding for trying to make a comeback here. As a blue team will be able to run them back to the tent, maybe find a few more kills here as the The Wildfire is chasing. They find a beautiful stun into a beautiful meatball, too. Oh, my God. Is that a triple? Yep, triple.
Yep. Jesus.
Well, total quadra. And looks like Red Team deciding to sit tent after that quadra kill. This is a level 2. Love to see them learning and stuff down here. Honestly, Blue Team played that like it was level 5, though. They were going for 20s, diving towards the tent, chasing the kills. Really like that. Great level 5s today. Team out really, really good level 5s. What's up, Lord
some
Bear?
friendly
Nice
chat as well in the say chat from both sides
Yeah.
as well.
When you're lower
That's,
level like this, everyone's trying to learn and have fun. You know, I love to see it, right?
It's like the community's a lot smaller in 5v5s as well, so a lot of these people just know each other and may have even played with each other as they bounce around different teams. So actually, it looks like Red Team may be coming back out for one more round.
Oh, are they? They said GG's in the chat.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's just, is he naked? No, they're fully geared. Wait a minute. Oh, they are coming back. They want another engagement. Okay, they lose in 30 seconds, but maybe they get some magic here. A bit of a kill, maybe some gear back for them. Looney is stunned, is getting pumped by Ghetto Seth. I really want to see him just hard die for a kill there onto like the healer or something. So low. Looney already dropped the meatball though. Nin Sheikah sitting on top of the redemption staff, but that celestial sphere healing is nutty. Gonna keep him alive for now. Somebody is running cultist sandals. Looks like it's this heavy mace from blue side. And it's GG. Good attempt from the red team to come out.
Wow, 8-8 in terms of kills and deaths. Nice.
Yeah, really, really solid to see the level 2 people still learning, right? I wish that they were rewarded a lot more for their efforts in level 2, even if you lose. I wish that you didn't lose a lot of money. You know, I hope you hope you can break even if you don't die like 20 times, right? But I think that red team lost a bit of money. I think this blue team didn't make as much money as they could have potentially in like corrupt dungeons or something. But hey, that's the name of the game, man.
Yep.
Well, I think that's all the 5v5 content we have for today's show. A lot of people were still asking earlier. Unfortunately, show's a little sick today, so there wasn't a daily show, but I think that'll be tomorrow, right, Bogul?
We'll assume that will just happen tomorrow. There's also some random power outages. I don't know if you guys watched Tazzik show. Shows disconnected, I think, twice on us, and then he's like messaging us like, "Hey, my whole screen is out." I'm like, "Oh." So we just thought we'll move it to tomorrow, anyways. Yeah, we'll talk about all the things that should be talked about tomorrow. Give you guys a little bit of updates on what's going on. There's a little bit of political change that we might want to get into, because Robin, you were on the ZVZ show as well earlier. There's like 3 new alliances, 15
Dude, my
shuffles,
guild joined an alliance. Yeah, I logged in today, and I was in an alliance. I didn't think Fleet was gonna join an alliance. It's called like Slurp or something.
Dude, I didn't think Fleet would be living in the Outlands, but they have a hideout in Sungaboro Spring.
Yep. We got a hideout planet. Dude, I mean, I act like I play with them often. I don't play with them every day, but love those guys. Love Vok. Fleet won a season back in the... Sorry, they didn't win a season, but they got, I think, 3rd in a season. But they technically won a season, right? They really helped Blue Army win multiple seasons in their first season. So I say that they won. They were one of the best guilds in the game for a while. Had one of the best 5v5 teams for a while as well. Great guild. Love playing with those guys. Also, too, Lazy Peon, the YouTuber, loves playing with those guys too. If you haven't seen that guy's new video, he was talking about the end and mid game for Albion Online, if it's worth playing. We put him in the Fleet, we put him in the Sun, had him experience some of that stuff. He did corrupted dungeons, roamed around, just had a blast in like the Outlands and stuff. Definitely recommend checking out that video if you haven't yet. You can check that on his YouTube channel. Oh, good.
I was 15 minutes in just before we started the show. I was like, I didn't realize it was half an hour long. I was like, because I watched his first one, and it was actually at like the points that he raised, completely agree with, right?
Everything he raises in his 3 videos about Albion are all very solid criticism. The thing about reviewers for games is often they'll have perspectives that you don't have, right? And it's all about finding a reviewer whose perspective you might not agree with, but you can respect, right? Like there are people who like games that I don't like, but I still trust their recommendations. Lazy Peon is a guy who likes all the same games I do. He was saying all the stuff that I agree with in those videos. I definitely agree with his feedback and stuff. They're great videos to watch. I definitely recommend watching them if you like Albion. just to maybe see how an outside person enjoys them. Or if you don't want to watch that, you can check out the backlog of content AOTV has on YouTube. YouTube.com/AlbionTV has tons and tons of content on there. All the shows get uploaded there as well. You can check that out in the Twitch chat there. There's the link. You can watch the VODs on YouTube. We'll be live again tomorrow, 18 UTC for the War Report. I think, yeah, 18 UTC, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 18 UTC. So check us out then. But otherwise, we are going to be heading out for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed the Crystal League, and I'll talk to you later.
Adios.
Take a look at Twitch chat. I'll draw 3 raffle winners.
Oh, the raffle. See, shows and forgets the raffle every time at the end of the shows. Bogul does not forget.
Well, just don't expect your code tonight. It will take a day or 3 to process. But let's do 1, 2, and number 3. That is Sammy2306, and that is Wolfenkin, and Ever Savior. Congratulations. You'll get a message here on Twitch. Check your Twitch PMs later.
Yeah, make sure to check your Twitch PMs for your gold code. It will be coming in maybe a few days since shows is not here to give them out. But enjoy the gold and enjoy the content. See you guys tomorrow.